This week's channel message is a powerful one. We talk about what these messages are actually for. They're not only telling you about ascension existing and new earth existing, but it's giving you the all access pass of what steps you need to take in order to get there. Because it's all well and good knowing these things exist, but if you're not eligible to actually attend, then what is the point or purpose? So that is why a lot of these messages are talking about the inner work that you must do in order to shift your vibration and come up to a higher vibration in order to be able to have access to these things. So that's why we talk a lot about the clearings and where your focus is and what you need to do on your end because everything is a co creation. So, for those of you that are new to the channel, I'm a light worker that uses automatic writing to gather messages from my guides, and I share their messages here on the channel. So, let's get into this week's reading. Ascension is about personal development. You can't have new earth without a vibrational shift, and you can't have that shift without doing the work to clear blockages, perceptions, and what you are currently manifesting or drawing to you. You can talk about new earth and what is to come, but it all means nothing if you don't do the work to be eligible to access it and get to that next level. You must recognize where your focus is and where it is leading you. The messages shared here will be a combination of understanding the shifts and what is to come, but also letting you know what is needed from your end to get there. It's the equivalent of talking about a big party and hyping you up so that you want to attend. But if there's no way for you to get invited, then you'll only have disappointment or feelings of missing out. These messages are our way of helping to make sure that you are on the guest list and not missing out. This is us making sure you know this event is coming up so that you can focus on your excitement for it instead of focusing on the lower vibrations that are vying for your attention. It makes no sense to tell you about something without letting you know how to access or attend it. We are providing you with both the opportunity and the all access pass. You just need to do your part to show up at the box office, so to speak. We are giving you the instructions to get you there, but you still need to make the effort or you'll never arrive. There must be a desire to change what is not working and work towards what you want to see in your life. Though daydreaming is a part of manifesting, action and implementing progress is too. You can't sit at home and dream of the lottery win, yet never buy a ticket. There are steps that you must take to bring forth what you dream of and what you want to see in your future. Find the balance between progress and overwhelm. Making progress does not mean putting yourself at risk from stress. Everything is about balance. Balance is just something most were not taught and don't know how to implement. Most were raised in the work hard to succeed mentality of your parents' generation. This left you feeling guilty when you try to relax or when life feels calm. You feel guilty enjoying life like you don't deserve it if those around you aren't at the same point where they can enjoy theirs. You must look at those habits and feelings. When you accomplish something, do you celebrate or are you already on to the next thing because you feel guilty if you aren't busy? How do you feel when it's quiet and things are calm? Do you feel panicked, like there is something that you should be doing instead? Or can you enjoy being still and taking a much needed break? There are nervous system issues brought about by beliefs that might not even be yours, but conditioning and grooming from others. Yet they run your life. This is why we ask you to pause and understand yourself and why you respond the way that you do. Are you set up for success or failure? Are you set up to be stressed all the time or can you find balance? Balance allows you to view things from a neutral stance. You can then choose how you respond instead of having an automatic reaction. This allows you to actively create instead of being dragged along by your impulses and urges. In different situations in your life, you have better control over your impulses. When you are a small child and still figuring out the world, all you have is your reactions and impulses, which is why the mood seems to fluctuate because the pendulum swings wide. Once you are an adult and your life is built out of your criteria, it's much easier to come to a neutral place because the ground seems more stable. There aren't as many big items shifting. Your life is more yours than anyone else's, and others' influences shouldn't be as much of a burden. This is the perfect time to come into balance and do the work. The sooner the better, but it's easier to recognize where priorities are as maturity sets in. When you are still figuring out who you are or prioritizing dating, it's hard to focus on spiritual matters. It's about priorities and what is important. Just recognize those shifts and take advantage accordingly. Your life will let you know when it's time and when you are aligned with different things. It's called perfect timing. Sometimes there are prerequisites in life, tasks in understanding certain things that need to happen first before you can move on to more advanced items. That's perfectly okay. It does not mean that you are falling behind. You just need to do the things in the correct order that makes sense. You can't jump from learning to count straight into calculus or trigonometry. You must take the correct steps to bridge the gap, to understand the concepts to get to the next stage. You can't rush life. You must learn and apply lessons to get to the next stages. You must step back and recognize this is what is happening and take the time to accomplish all the steps, or you won't have the knowledge to succeed where you are going. Be patient with yourself as you learn and start to comprehend how your life is set up. It is a process. Everything is a process, so just take things one step at a time and know you'll eventually get there. The destination isn't always important, just the direction. Often, what you think is the destination is just another step in a much bigger picture. But you can't see the bigger picture yet, and you must aim for something to keep the momentum and progress going. You wouldn't be able to see the bigger picture standing still because if you didn't make progress, you wouldn't have grown or accomplished what you needed to. That growth allows for more doors to open. That growth allows for a much bigger outlook than what you would have had for yourself when you originally started. Your dreams of what you could accomplish would be different when you were 5 years old with limited education and knowledge. Those dreams expand by 18 years as you have basic education and some ideas of what you are drawn to and enjoy doing. But once you're in the corporate world, how you pictured a career feels different in application. You can use your resources and what you know to shift and adjust course accordingly. This is exactly how your life works. You gain knowledge and experience. It allows you to shift your perspective and grow your confidence. This allows you to choose something that you didn't know existed when you started. This is how you grow. This is how you evolve. You learn, adapt, and expand. That's how you get a new view to a new vibration to new earth. You can't make it to a new destination until you change what keeps you in the current one. You must heal what keeps you from your goals to expand. You must have the desire and determination to push through what is keeping you back. You must be ready to change. If you're not ready to release the comforts of being a prisoner, you will never be free. You must desire more for yourself and be willing to go after it. This involves learning who you are and how you got here. What is keeping you here? What do you want instead? Where are your priorities? Are you set up for success? Only you can determine these things. Only you can take those first steps. Only you can change your vibration, your trajectory, what comes next. You must come out of survival mode in the rinse and repeat actions that have created your life. Start small if you must. Find something small that isn't working and fix it. Find a routine that doesn't bring you joy and change it. Once you prove to yourself that you can do this, you can then address the bigger items. Just find a place to start and be brave enough to change it. A small change can have a big impact. You just need to start. That's sometimes the hardest part. Find your desire to live your life instead of following what you were told your life should be. How much of your life is yours? How much of it is following societal norms and what everyone else is doing? How much of it makes you happy or brings you joy? You don't need to live your life for someone else. They have their own life to live. Live your life for you. Prioritize yourself. Prioritize your needs. Find your gifts and share them in your own way. There is only one you. Are you letting it sit on the shelf or are you displaying what you have to offer? Think of how much different the world would be if people felt safe to make their own choices without judgment. If they could share what lights them up without fear. Think of the options and creativity that you would see in the world. What is stopping everyone and why? What is stopping you? Thank you, and I will see you next week.